What's going on, YouTube? Oh, look. Damn Hugo sticker. Nice. Forgot I got that. Squirrel moment. Anywho, what's going on, ladies and germs? OG Nitro RCs coming at you from the Nitro Corner once again. Episode 98. The follow-up to 97 last night when we said we had to venture off on the big dog. Yep, the fellow that wears these big-ass shoes. Look at these frickin' tires, guys. Compared to my hand, look at the size of these frickin' tires. I know you big fist scale guys with the primals and shit like that are like, that's not a wheel. Bro, that's a frickin' wheel, all right? That is a massive tire right there. That is a piece of tread. I don't care what the hell world you live in. That is a monster tire. MTs, Wastelands. Loved these tires when I bought them. Yes, I did. Old Thunderboy did a little test and tune with these bad boys on his death or ramp of death or whatever the hell he calls that crazy shit he does where he launches them 160,000 feet into the air and they come down to land. He was a little hard on these tires, but he said they were a good tire besides that. But yeah, they didn't quite hold up to the abuse he put on her. The rims didn't. Rims were a little weak for him, he said. But yep, these are the shoes that go on my big boy, on my Big Max, my MONSTA, as I call him. And when I build up by hand, screw for screw, nut for nut, bolt for bolt, I put him together, ordered every piece. I put them together blindly. I've never put one together before. It was an awesome experience. And these are the new Huvos, the big 72 mAh 120C batteries that I bought for him, 14.8 volts. Yep, these are the bad rascals. Only thing is, they're too big. And man, are these suckers heavy. But they're too tall. They're about a 1/4 inch taller than your standard 6700 mAh Traxxas 4S LiPo battery. The ones Traxxas tries to corral you into using and needing because they're the only ones that'll fit into a standard Traxxas xmaxx battery compartment. That's why you buy the aftermarket battery compartments with the straps for bigger batteries, because these are cheaper. To where your standard 6700 milliamp Traxxas battery will cost you anywhere from $130 to $167 depending on where and who you buy them from, to where these are $90 a pair. And the Traxxas 6700 milliamp batteries are only, I believe, 30 or 50 C, where these are 120 C. That's your dump rate. And so yeah, the better higher the C, the better the feed, as they say. And the higher the milliamp, the higher the mAh, the longer the battery run. So some guys say longer battery run, hotter ESCs and all that. Yeah. Well, there's ways of taking care of that. It ain't like you shouldn't be running pinned out all the time. Some guys are heavy-handed and want to do that, but you know, give your shit a break once in a while, guys. These even come with a Traxxas type-ish plug that'll fit into a Traxxas plug anyway. So I did not have to cut these and mount the, whatever they are, the T60s or whatever I got, P60s that I ordered for them. So yeah, I can just keep using the plugs that I have in my truck, but they're too big. They won't slide into the old battery compartments because, like I said, Traxxas tries to corral you into needing their batteries to make them fit. But, you know, I can get one end to clamp down, and it clamps down so tight, and you shove the other end up into the battery rail to where it's not going to move. So I'm not worried about that. So we will get by just fine like that. But for right now, we're going to dive off into this real quick, get this receiver mounted up in this truck, and it's going to take up all of this room. I'm actually going to have to stand up above the camera, which is right here. I'm going to have to stand up above the camera and look down on the truck and put stuff together, because it takes up all of this. Even with the wheels off it, it takes up all of it. And then we'll talk about some other stuff once I get it over here and I get resituated and we get mounting it up. And I'm going to get these batteries on the charger. Well, I want to, but I can't because they have a storage charge on them, so I need to leave them like that until we get the receiver and stuff in, so I can plug them in and check the receiver to make sure I have everything mounted up correctly, the fans and so forth like that, forward and reverse, blah blah blah, steering. So yeah, with all that said, before we dive off into that, you guys would do me a big favor and smash that Smash that like button for me, please, guys. If you find anything that I've been doing interesting at all, I'd greatly appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber to the channel already, please consider subscribing to the channel. This is the OG's Nitro Corner. This is where we get shit done. You know, yeah, this is the place where we get stuck. Rinks is here all the time, spending more money than what he should be, and yeah, I'm the reason why he's broke and blah blah blah. You know how it goes. That's what friends are for. But anyway, if you guys like what I've been doing, or if you guys think you're gonna like what I'm doing or whatever, you know, check me out. Like and subscribe to the channel if you would, please. Like I said, I'm the true RCist. I try to run everything. I've had electrics. I got electrics now. I run Nitro, crawlers, drones. You guys still have yet to see my drones that I have. I've been flying drones for about 8 years now. 9 years I've had mine. I have a very old drone. I have what they call a Parrot Bebop 2, and it's a very nice little drone for what it does. It'll go up 500 feet. It reaches the cap. It can't go no higher than that ceiling. You got to stay below 500 feet. That's the hard deck for emergency flight helicopters and stuff like that. So you cannot be any higher than 500 feet, or it is a federal air violation, and you will get in big trouble for that, unless you're licensed or something like that. And in some states and cities, you have to be licensed to fly them anyway. But guys like me that just tool around and fly over cornfields and swamps and stuff like that, and they tend to leave us alone. So with anywho, we run everything here. We work on everything here. We try to enjoy the hobby till its fullest. The only thing I don't do is planes, trains, and that's about it. Helicopters, I guess. I've had helicopters in the past. Helicopters for rich old guys with more money than they know what to do with, and planes are for guys that like crashing stuff and blowing stuff up. But anywho, we have a blast here in the Nitro Corner. We joke around, we fib around. We have a very, very positive community. Comments are awesome. Love all you guys. Love and appreciate and respect each and every one of you guys. The support I get is just, it's just a beautiful thing, guys. It's a beautiful thing. So keep it up, guys. Let's keep this thing going. Hit that like button for me, and let's get this video started. Okay. Try to put this up here. We can find a happy medium. And believe it or not, you guys are going to be able to see this, I'm pretty sure, because what I have to do is right here. This is where my receiver box goes. There's all my cards. Here's my ESC. This is the big MAX 6. Yes, well, not the big MAX 6. The MAX 6 is a very good upgrade for anything like this. Standard Traxxas land, fucking, I think it's 100 and, what is it, 1800 or 1200 kV brushless censored motor. Or non-censored, it's not censored. Yeah, this is a good setup. This thing will haul booty. It will move. I just noticed something up here that you guys can't see. This A-arm or dry shaft over here on the, which will be the driver's side front. Yeah, driver's side front is bent. And back to that, we'll get to all that in a minute when we start talking about that. But, okay, hold on a second, guys. Let me get some noise going on in the background. My crawler fellers just got on. Who's on there? Double A, Rockwell for them. Alright, I'm by some back there. Now I can come over here and stand up and hopefully do what I got to do here. I'm going to put this over here so I can kind of see. Alright. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little battery cords. And on off switch. My ESC. I'm going to try not to bump this camera, guys, but it's like right here in front of me. So if you guys want to work with me on that, we'll see how far we're going to get. Okay, antenna shoot. I'm going to need that in a minute. And radio link receiver. The hardest part about doing this thing is this little bump cushion right here that runs along this pocket. This right here is about the hardest thing that we got to deal with because it's padded. So when you sink your wires down into it, it kind of cradles it and provides a little bit of waterproofing for it. This is where your antenna box sits on top of it, just like that. And yeah, just like that. We'll clamp all this down, but you got to make sure all the wires are tucked in tight before we do that. So, receiver. And what do we have going on here? We have steering. Aftermarket steering servo. Steering always goes channel 1. So let's get this in here. Alright. Channel 1. Here's my ESC. Throttle, brake, everything else. That'll go in channel 2. Alright. I'm already shaking the camera. Might have to pause this, guys, and see if I can't reposition this out of my way a second. Give me 1 minute. I'll bring you guys right back. All right, guys. Here we go. Let's try this once again here. Working on top of myself here, so I don't know how good it's going to go. All right, here's my fan. My engine fan. We can put down in here. There's 1. There's 2. And 3. All right. Now before we go any further, I'm going to slap some batteries in here, hit the on switch, and see what happens. All right. Where's the other one? My back is not meant to be hunched over like this. So let's see here. Boom. And boom. We lined up, red to red, black to black, jumper to jumper. Are we on? We're the way that we're supposed to be, so we don't buckle this thing as soon as we turn it on. It looks good. Alright. The on and off button, let's hit it. And it should beep 8 times. It should be beep, 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 beep 8 times. As long as nothing blows up so I can yank these wires apart. Here we go. Eight beeps. Turn the radio on. That's why we got the wheels up. Boom. Activated. Forward, reverse. Steering. Steering's backwards. We're going to correct that real quick. Reverse. Throttle, steering, change, normal. Boom. Enter. Exit, exit. Alright, now let's back this sucker all the way back off again. This horn is way off on this thing. Like a country mile off. Yep. The reason why it sounds like that is because, like I said, I bought all these parts one by one. So we know we're lined up. Let's shut this thing off. Alright, we're good to go. We are good to go. Now I can start charging batteries. But the reason why it sounds like that is because of the mesh. Not because the gearing, because the gearing is pretty much stock. But like I said, I ordered these parts individually. I built this truck piece by piece. And when I did that, it comes with an engine, a motor cradle, which lines up with 2 pins that stick up in the bottom of this tray that holds this engine in place. Or motor, as you guys call these. Holds this motor in place. It's supposed to be a pure line every time. Well, of course, when they're molded and made by the thousands, I got one that's off just a little bit. So the gearing is a little bit too tight, but it runs just fine with the wheels on it, boogies on the road, no problems. So I'm leaving it alone until it pops, until something gives way. Then I'll order a new cradle for it and start over if I have to. But with that being said, now I can get in here and try to get all of this buttoned up. There's a lot of wires here. A lot of them. And here's our antenna wire, which right now is the most important. To get this up through here. Right there. get this down, get this one over here, because this has got to come out of this. So before we go any further, we'll run this up into the chute. Where are we at? Where are we at? There we go. Get this in here. Get this up here. Get that bent over. Get the wubby put on it. Okay. Now tuck this back into here. Yeah. Boom. Just like that. Then that gets pushed out the other end. And all these wires. What's that, guys? This stays out of the way. The rest of these have to get tucked up. Tucked up, boys. We don't need to reset the receiver. We shouldn't ever have to worry about resetting this receiver like you have to do on quite a few Traxxas ones. I had a lot of problem with the Traxxas ones that need to be reset a lot. So I was steadily sticking the screwdriver down in there and trying to line them back up. That's a pain in the ass. So that's good. That's good. Let's get our lid on this thing. There we go. That's what that little hole right there is for. You take this cap off. It's made to stick a screwdriver down in there and reset this damn thing. And yeah, it got to be quite the event to do that all the time. So let me grab the Allen wrenches here. Yeah. A lot of big screws in this sucker. Having a power tool for this monster is definitely a plus. Definitely a plus. Okay. Those are the two obnoxious ones, because once you put the battery trays in, which I removed because the skeleton sits on top of this, which you guys will see in a minute, that's where all that goes. Now this will go right back into here, hopefully. Boom, just like that. Do-wop. Couple screws in here, boys. Why aren't you wanting to partake in this, brother? There we go. Didn't want to start. Like I said, this is one of them times where it's nice having the auto drill. So let's get this sucker going. Make life a lot easier on everybody, especially me. boom, 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 fellas. Boom, boom, boom. Checking for snugness. Actually loosens up a little bit. Over here, check this one for snugness. That one was good. Cool beans. Got the cap in. Antenna shoots up. On and off buttons ready to go. Sensor wires are all here. There's our motor sensor, which we don't use. Leave that right there like that. Okay, let me see here. Where we at? Where we at? This is going to turn into a really short video, guys. Really short, which is what I'm hoping for, because we're just putting this sucker together and calling it good. Calling it good. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This fits down in there. That fits down in there. We got our motor sensor here. It goes up there. Okay. That sits in there. There. Cradles are in. We got our screws. Now, because we'll have 1, 2, 3 screws that go down into here. 1, 2, 3 screws. 3 screws on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screws on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4 screws up here. So, with all that being said, let's see what we can get going here. Let's see if we can get any of these in here with the gun without hitting the camera. Be a miracle by itself. Oh shit! This might not work like this. Now with this camera here, it might not. Yeah. Where we at here? Where we at? I was wrong. They're all on the bottom, not the top ones. The bottom ones were for the bottom skid plate. I don't need to take those out. I can just put these in the top, which is what we'll do right now. One will go here. And we'll put one over here on this side. Alright. One on this side. Alright. Now we got one screw down here. We just dropped one on the other side somewhere. Find that one. It's not in the wheel. There it is. Okay. And this one comes over here. Okay. Now, the rest of them are on the bottom. So I was wrong about that, fellas. Sorry, my bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. And the top ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we're going to try to flip this over without killing everything on the table. And we're going to take the wheels out now. Just like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. We have all the screws we need. That's a good thing, guys. That turned out all right. So let's see what we can make happen here. That's pulling the battery trays up is what I'm doing. These screws right here are what hold the battery trays in from the bottom. So that's what's drawing the battery cages up. You guys all know I'm pro HPI. I hate Traxxas. But you guys have never heard me talk about this beast before. I have to give credit where credit is due. And I know there's a lot of armor guys that are going to hear this and be pissed off. And hey, I don't know what to tell you. Be mad. I don't care. But straight out of the box, with no modifications, pound for pound, the Traxxas xmaxx is the king of the bash. No upgrades, no nothing. Jump this thing off your granddaddy's 80-foot barn, and it's going to hit, bounce, get up and go, please, sir, can I have another? And it'll keep doing it and doing it and doing it. You really have to do something weird to mess one of these up. And the way they come apart is super simple. I mean, you have these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These 8 screws take the center skid plate off. You take these bolts back out of these trays again, you flip it over, and you have 4 screws on each side of your front bulkhead, and you can literally slide the whole front end out and slide the whole back end out and have just a centerpiece sitting here. Then you can work on the front end, you can work on the back end, or fix whatever you got to fix when you get done with that module, because they made 3 separate modules, rear, center, front. When you get done, you slide it back into the dry shaft. The dry shaft is a spline. You slide it back up into the front differential or the rear differential, or in this case the middle differential, and you bolt it back down with the eight screws. You'll have 8 of these holding the whole son of a bitch together, and then you bolt it together on the back side, put your skid plate on, which again holds it all together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the front and back end. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the center in to the middle of the chassis, and this thing is rock solid. I mean, rock solid. And they make supports for these to make them even stronger, guys. It is ridiculous. I was talking to the guys the other night. We were talking about pros and cons of these trucks and hop-up kits and stuff for them. And one thing that's a con, I believe, which is what I did to this thing, just because I was on the bandwagon of making it look like something. But why isn't this one going in? But I put these green arms on here, which you guys really can't see because the camera's just so low. But I put these green arms on here. When I raise it up, I'll go back over everything I'm telling you guys right now. But these green arms are what they call the wide max kit, which makes this xmaxx, a standard xmaxx, as wide as an XRT. The XRT is the king bee. The XRT is a giant 8-scale, 5th-scale truggy slash buggy slash xmaxx all rolled into one. It is wider, it is longer, it is bigger than a stock xmaxx, and it is a beast. I mean, a flat out beast. Lower to the ground, wider than this truck, longer than this truck, with the same size tires, A-arm, suspension, everything else is identical, chassis is identical, everything else is the same. And it's low to the ground like a buggy, like a truggy. So that is just a ridiculously good handling vehicle, but it's wider. And when you have something that weighs 30 pounds like this does, that's 33 plus inches long like this thing is, and 25 inches wide like this thing is, guys, and you got that much weight moving that far out on these A-arms, you're going to break something. And it happens. Like I said, this dog bone up here on this front side up here is bent. I bent this dog bone somehow. I don't even know why, because I have yet to send this truck. I have not sent it like I did my orange one. This truck's only been ran across the yard. I don't think it's even actually bumped into anything, so I do not know how I bent this front dry shaft up here, this front dog bone. I have more, no big deal. But the fact is, it's bent. It's wobbling when you turn the wheel. So I'm going to go back sometime this summer. When I get my XRT, I'm going to strip this one down with the other parts I have, as I have enough parts to build another max. I will build a second max, because I missed my first one. I got rid of Juggy. I shouldn't have done that, but long story short, that's what led up to me getting the fish scales and led up to me trading with the Lotus on down in Ohio and getting my RS4 and my TC3. So it all worked out really good. But I missed my other max and I want it back. So I'm going to build me a second xmaxx this summer. and I'm going to keep everything on it. I'm going to shorten the arms back up on it and go back to the stock everything, because they don't need much beefing up. You need to help the steering servo out just a little bit. You need to beef up the servo saver a little bit and keep the short arms on it. You can go with the aluminum out drives, the aluminum housings for the out drives, because those mainly break, which I'll show you in a minute. When I raise this thing up, guys, we're only like 19 minutes in. Video's kicking ass, doing good. We'll be out of here by 45 minutes. And yeah, everything on these trucks goes together like a dream. These are the simplest things to work on, but there is a lot of nuts and bolts and screws that hold this big ass truck together. Make no mistake about it. There's 18 screws like this one right here. Some a little bigger, some a little smaller. 18 of them in each A-arm section on all four corners that hold these A-arms together with shocks and C-hubs and carriers and everything. There's 18 of these sumbitches per corner. Not counting what's in the middle of the truck, not counting what's in the bulkheads, not counting what's holding the differentials together, the front, the center, or the rear diff. Not counting any of that, just in the A-arms alone. So there is a lot of nuts and bolts in these fuckers. That's why your power gun is your best friend when working on one of these big bastards. So, give me a second, guys. I'm gonna get my squid harness down. I got the guys seeing me. Get my squid down. Get my LiPo stem. Hook it up to my charger. Get these batteries charging, because this bad boy is going out tomorrow and getting wet. That's why we're doing all this tonight. Testing and teasing tonight. And we're going to load him up with one nitro truck. Is going to go out and get soggy too. It's more than likely probably going to be a problem. Or grubby. I'd like it to be grubby. Grubby got his ass kicked running really wet the last time we took him out, playing in all that snow and shit with wet air filters and soggy bottom this and soggy bottom that. So I like to get Grubby back out, let Grubby have a little free run, little run and go. Okay, guys, hold on a second. I gotta try finding these. What I did with them is I thought I had adapters. Fuck, we have adapters. Yes, we do. No, we don't. Yes, we do. Okay, is this the one that's going to work here? No, that's not going to work here either. Alright, fellas, bear with me. Bear with me. I might have to put you guys on pause, because I got a battery debacle over here that I have to figure out. We'll do all that in a minute. We're not going to worry about that right now. I'm going to spin this monster around and put the other sides in. Put these four in. Boom, 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 and boom. And I had one oddball screw in here that had a Phillips head on it, which I don't know how that happened. But, like I said, I put this together with no instructions. No instructions. Never touched one before, because I vowed I would never ever own a Traxxas. So yeah, a lot of those were in my earlier videos. If you guys want to watch me work on them, you can go back and watch those. And watch me run on the wrench on this bad boy. But yeah, he went together really good. I think these are the ones that go in there. I can't see and I can't remember. Oops, that doesn't sound right. Why doesn't it? That does not sound right. All right, let me do the old hand tighten. Yeah, these are the ones that strip out really, really easy, because all this is the brace, the cage brace up on top. You guys will see all that in just a minute. I'm going to flip this over and raise the camera up. Be like, surprise. Oh my goodness, this is a long one. Like I said, having a power tool gun on these is a must-have. And this is the oddball one, which is not a 1.5. Is it 2? Yes, it's a 2. All right, that's in. Those are all in. Good to go. Good to go. So I'm gonna flip this sucker back over ever so gently. Trying not to kill everything out here. Wires are in, everything's in. All right. Now I'm gonna put you guys on pause, raise this up, look for my battery connectors real quick, and bring you guys right back. Hold on a minute. All right, boys, here we go. Everything's set, everything's good to go. Everything's in as good as it's gonna get. And I just looked around and realized that I do not have the right plugs to charge these batteries. So I'm going to have to go get my 4S charger I let a friend of mine borrow and pick that up so I can come back here and charge up these batteries, and we'll see where we can go from there. Hear that? Or I'm about to start cutting these off. It's going to be a long night of soldering and sweating these wires down, which I guess really doesn't matter. I can do that too. I have my plugs all right here. Yes, I do. The XT60s. The XT60s, I'm not too hip really about the IC3s. Are kind of small. They're not quite as bad as the 60s. The 60s are good for 8S. You can use 60s on the 8S. So I'll probably stick with those. But I thought that I had what I needed to charge this rascal, and I don't. Now I could leave these on and simply use these jumpers that I have and switch it over to the XT60s, which are these right here. So yeah, which means all I got to do really is solder on the XT60 to the batteries. Yeah, if I charge them, if I hook them onto the batteries, I can leave the standard plugs yeah, see, I can use these adapters to plug into the actual truck like so. Yeah, that's like that. That's all those. And then I just solder these, the XT60s, onto the batteries, which will be a lot easier. And then just jump them over and plug these in, and they'll work just fine. And I don't have to cut the loop or do anything. I can just leave these plugs standard on here, and if I ever run into the problem to where I need, or if all I have is a Traxxas battery, I can still use it because I have the Traxxas plugs on here. So I can do that too. That might be what we do, guys. We might just go ahead and solder some females onto our batteries. Strip these down, cut them out, plug them up, and make them go. Red, red, black, black, just like that. That's how that goes. So, that's probably what we're going to end up doing. Save myself some trouble running around, and then I can use the adapters that just come with the battery packs, because these actually come with these Hoove batteries. These jumpers do, because that way you got your standard TRX Traxxas plugs on everything, but they switch over to the 60 plugs. These XT60s are what a lot of guys like to use for charging and stuff like that. So these are just easier to use. Little difference in wiring, probably an 8 gauge to maybe a 10 gauge, possibly a 12. But oh, it's actually, it is a 12. That's 12 gauge. So this is 10 gauge. Yep, I was right. A little bit smaller, but we can still make it work. It'll be all right. It'll boot up. shrink wrap and everything. Nothing will be touching. Still be solid and safe. So that's what we're going to end up doing, guys. But these are the longer, the wide max arms that I was talking about, which make this truck 1.5 inches wider on both sides, which it does not need to be. So put the standard arms back on here. I put these on here as they match the shocks, and they match the body that I painted, because I did actually paint the body for this truck. This was a clear body. I put the cage in it myself, the supports in it, I put everything in it myself. Handles, roof skid, I put all this in, masked it off, shot it with this little cheap, cheesy little green pattern, and called it good. So yeah, but I'm going to switch this up and put these back probably to the stock arms and get these wide ones off here. Like I said, this one over here is it this one? Yeah, I think it's this one. This is the one that's bent. This is one that wobbles really good for some reason. It's got quite the bend to it. I don't know why. It's bowed out. It's bowed out good. So anywho, that's what we're going to do, guys. Wasn't nothing major to see. I just wanted to get this receiver back in here. So I know that this is set to go. The receiver is linked to the radio. It's designated to a certain channel, so it can't cross over. I cannot get interfered with from any other radios or anything like that. Nothing else starting up on this. So that's being taken care of. And like I said, these batteries are just a little bit too big. I wish they'd left them the same length as the Traxxas ones, and they wouldn't have had to go so high with them. And everything would have been fine. We could have got away with everything just fine. But as you see, they won't set. But if you push them forward, if you slide them forward a little bit, you can pinch this back end down and stick it in there, just like that. Now that's clamped in nice and freaking tight, and the battery does not move at all. It won't move at all. But you can see it's way too big. I mean, I could probably pinch this down and snap this one in there too, which I can do, just like that. That's a lot of stress on there. I mean, boom, there it is. That's a lot of stress. So we don't want to do that much. You'll give it a little bit of a break, maybe snap in just one. We'll see if one holds on a few jumps. If one doesn't, we'll snap them both in. We'll order the different battery trays with the straps. That allows you to strap in any size battery you want. You can go as big as you want, as high, as fat, as long, whatever. It'll hold all of them with the straps. So that might be the route we have to go, because these batteries are a lot better than the Traxxas batteries. Bigger, stronger, faster. Everything about them is better. So, with all that being said, hope you guys enjoyed something about this. You guys got to see OG's Big Max, the big dog, the king of the hill. Everything that falls on this truck hurts. The massive meats. I mean, look at that sucker. Oh, look at these tires. I love them. These Wastelands are just awesome, and they're so cheap. You can get them off Amazon. I love Amazon. But yeah, bolted in. You have to build them up. You got to bolt your center hubs in yourself. I think there's what, 8? Yeah, 8 big ass screws that hold the center hub in. So, yep. He's a monster. You guys will get to see more videos of him. I have a couple of them on my channel way back in the beginning that probably most guys have never seen or just not interested in, but there is a couple videos of him running, just a little bit, a couple short bursts, and we're going to get a lot more here. If I can get these batteries cut up and changed over tonight, we'll go ahead and dive into that. If not, well, it'll be just another day. I don't know. It's supposed to thaw everything out there again in the next few days. Sometime starting next week, it's supposed to get really warm again, and then it's going to get cold again. Back and forth, back and frickin' forth. I went out there this morning, and everything that melted last night was froze solid. I actually had to help a young lady get her car out of the parking lot because she was parked on one of the slopes. And when she backed out and tried going, bless her heart, she tried going around the way you're supposed to go, is we do have a one-way drive all the way around our complex. Instead of going the short route, which would have been easier for her, she didn't want to do that because it goes against the rules. So she tried going the wrong way, and she got stuck on the hill, and she couldn't get her car up it. So I had to coach her down backwards, down the parking lot, and make her turn, and told her to go out the short way Don't worry about breaking the rules or the signs or whatever, because in times like this, you got to do what you got to do to get the hell out of here. So we got her out, but that's how icy it was out there today. It's supposed to be like that now for a few days. It's supposed to fall, rain, and freeze again, all in the next week. It needs to hurry up and make up its mind. Mother Nature needs to hurry up and make up her mind, because she's been a little carried away here long enough. Time to pack this season up, because like we were talking about, my boy Rinks is who I wanted to mention. Rinks RC, guys, check him out. Coolest bro on the rock. Been kicking out good live streams. Still working on his buggy this morning. This morning's live stream had a really good crowd in there today. Next week Saturday, he's talking about opening up the StreamYard and having a bunch of us up on the panel to talk through his live stream before he goes racing like we usually do every weekend. And check him out, Rinks RC. Cool dude, super cool dude, and he's probably the only one out of us that still races right now at the moment. So yeah, a lot of respect for him, mad props. But we were talking about, you know, the build-up that's coming. There's so many of us that are putting out content right now during the winter of what we have and what we need to do and what we want to do come spring and summer of this year. So there's going to be a lot of RC action going on, guys, on YouTube probably this summer. It's going to be a lot, overwhelming, with all the content coming out from all the different creators. So good times. Another good time to be in the hobby. Anywho, OG coming at you from OG's Nitro Corner, where we get shit done, talk about shit, break shit, and then fix shit. Guys, episode 98. Smash the like button for me, please. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already, and stay tuned. We're going to come up with the next one probably after we get done running this. Will be hopefully a run video. Might not be, depends on what's going to happen with the weather, but we're going to try getting outside, guys. I got to get these batteries changed over. So all that being said, love, respect, appreciate each and every one of you. OG, man, I'll catch you guys later. Peace out, boys and girls.